YouTube. Happy Friday, happy equinox. We are trying to establish all of our many lives. Our many live streams. Let's see if we can do this. That makes that a little easier. Well, we'll see how we do. Goodness gracious. But how are you? How are you? How is today? We normally don't go live on a Friday, so it's a fun little kind of new situation. So, hey, Friday and live. Every single time we get together at least once a week, every week, and we do a bit of a check in. And so this day will be no different. I know you can only see my head kind of lightly bobbling, but we take some time to lay a hand on the body and we check in as you are closing out the season and opening up into a new season, going from winter, the official winter, into spring. How you doing for real? How you doing for real? How is your heart coming into the season? How is the pace of how you're doing? How are you feeling about the speed? Is life moving fast? Are you moving fast? Is it all moving slow? What's tea? How you doing for real? And then I would love to know, what do you need from you as we are coming into this day, and honestly, as we're coming in to a new season? What is something that you know that you need from yourself? And again, every time we kind of go through this, I always say, you don't have to rush to meet the need. I just want you to identify it right now. What do you know that you need from you this season? Think about your winter. Think about your week and kind of how it landed as you're going into the weekend. Oh, now that I'm on the weekend, what do you need from yourself this weekend so that you can actually feel fulfilled to get into next week? Ooh, I like seeing y'all on a Friday. Different things are possible when I see y'all on a Friday. That's real cute. Dr. Zoe. That's real cute. What do you need from your weekend so that you can go into next week ready to fully emerge into spring? Is there something that you got to grieve? Something that you got to shed? Is there any ritual that you do to close one chapter and open up another? We are at the threshold. We are at the precipice. It is the equinox. And interestingly enough, this feels like a springier spring that I'm used to seeing. A lot more new, kind of coming out of a bit of sludge from the winter. Winter felt really sludgy. I was literally telling this to somebody that I know this week, that every single person that I know had some version of getting kicked in the teeth this winter. Like some insane something that was just like, oh, you ain't never gonna believe. And you're like, what? At least one. Everybody I know had at least one this winter. And so coming into the spring, in some ways, there's like something usually to attend to because of whatever that was in the winter. And I know so many of us are feeling a bit of a like, coming into the spring. And it could be really any parts of that breath. Some of my people are holding their breath. Some of us feel like, okay, I'm ready to exhale, but nothing's moving yet. Some of us are feeling the exhale, right? So wherever you are, it's going to assess what these needs are going to be coming into the next season. And you know I'm going to ask you, because I always ask you every week, of those needs that are coming up for you, of the things that you may need coming into this season to be whole and to be well. What is one thing you can do for yourself today? Okay, Shay. Good to see you. Good to see you. I was talking about you today. I'm glad your ears were burning. All good things always. And excited to see you. Miss your face. As we come into this new season. It's your season, friend. Happy birthday to the Aries. Happy birthday to the Pisces. As we stand one foot on either side. All my cuspy folks hanging out in this little middle ground. Happy birthday to you. All right, that's the internal, that's the you. Particularly today, we're going to be talking big stuff, in regards to this new season. But we got to ask the same questions of the business. If I was to give the business a voice, and I sat it down next to me, and I said, okay, girl, how you doing for real? What would the business say? How is the business doing for real this week? I know, Dr. Zoe, I was just with you in office hours. The business may be going, girl, I'm tired. I need a nap. Where is my cocktail? Is where the business may be going. But how is the business doing for real? And then what does the business need from you? I normally have you guys ask at the beginning of the week, what does the business need for you this week? But since I'm coming on a Friday and now all the rules are different, I want to know, like, what does the business need from you this season? We are at a brand new season. And I was just sitting in community with my people all last Friday and Saturday. Man, I just have what you want to say. So we launched like 3 or 4 new sections of a new playbook. So the spring playbook, if you've played with us before, is drastically different than our previous playbooks. It has gotten faster, easier to use, and really tightened up some of the screws there that are available. Welcome in, babe. Good to see you. And we will have it available for folks who did not attend the huddle. We have a couple little tweaks to make, which only one thing broke during a Mercury retrograde. We give thanks, but it's going to be getting done. And so this huddle was like a new facilitation. Honestly, probably the best huddle I've ever led. Best huddle I've ever led, if I had to say so myself. We really got a chance to go through each and every person's individual plan and focus on the biggest kind of needle moving chunks of like the offer that they were focused on, the primary audience that they're growing for that offer, and then the actions and marketing strategy necessary to get it done. And then we phrased everything else around that, which gave me such clarity for everybody. Like, oh, I know exactly what everyone's doing. Oh, and I like that it's cute. Payne did say that. Like, it's really cute. I like that Parshell did a great job with the graphics this time around. It was a very good huddle. But to make a long story longer, to bring that context all the way back to the front, we talked a lot this huddle on like, okay, it's spring, it's new. What are we going to do? What do we want to do? What do we actually want to be focused on, right? And for the business, what does the business actually need this season? If you're walking yourself into a new season, and for a lot of us, we are ready to leave some things behind and walk into a new reality, what are the needs for the business for this season, right? What are the decisions and the things that you know that you need? And what is one thing you can do today? One thing you can do today to meet the business's need for this season. Maybe it's a mindset. Maybe you're Dr. Zoe and you're having a little cocktail at the coffee shop. Maybe that's what you're doing for you because you're like, I refuse to be overwhelmed. Please pass my unlimited mimosa. Yes, please, right? Maybe that's what you're doing because you're going into the weekend, right? But whatever it is, maybe spend the energy of this equinox getting inspired about what it could be. Best thing about the spring equinox, regardless of what temperature it is where you live, inspiration is abound. Spring is all about this energy of the seeds being planted, the first sprouts being sprouted, all of the effort and energy that the seed does to root in before it roots up. All of these medicines of spring can go on ahead and get sprinkled right on over your life and right on over your business, utilizing the spring cleaning energy, right? The dusting out of what was stagnant and stale and the ushering in of what feels new and what's coming in. That's medicine that you can sprinkle all over yourself, all over your business as we're coming into this season. One of the other things that we did, this was really a jam-packed season, y'all, literally. So we did huddle. I did huddle on Friday. Huddle on Saturday was with the peeps. Knocked it out, got it done, felt great about it. Then got up 5 in the morning, drove to LA, did Sanctuary on Sunday. Was reborn on the grass. Y'all, it be me, my mosquito bites, and that cute little fluffy Penelope puppy. I reborn on the grass. Reborn on the grass. Sanctuary is this gorgeous retreat led by Kira and McKenna. Welcome in, Iris. Good to see you. It's like I said, Sanctuary, and here you came. Gorgeous retreat that happens in View Park in this gorgeous backyard that like leads out to the canyon, and the butterflies landed and the eagles were flying and the food was delicious and the sound bath was delicious and the activity pods and the movement and the LA sun. Reborn on the grass. Y'all, I be telling people, retreat yourself. Retreat yourself. One of these retreat people need to change that, make that a movement. Retreat yourself. Find ways to reset the things that you are in little and large ways. Sanctuary has been my spring reset now for years, one at a time. And it's so funny because Kira just said, I'm going to start calling you the godmother of Sanctuary because it was one of the first client experiences we ever created together. And it has a really special place in my heart. But it's this perfect culmination of something that's incredibly impactful for everybody who attends, but is incredibly impactful for everybody who facilitates at the same level. And even as a co-facilitator, I am so rejuvenated. It's like I get 5 times as much as I give, and it is so, so good. And it was definitely the right thing to usher me into this equinox portal. Iris says, yes, Sanctuary is truly a magical portal. Retreat yourself. Look, Iris, go take it because you be doing retreats. Go put that on a t-shirt. Retreat yourself. That's what we want to say. Because truthfully, I think we need more rituals that take us from one crux kind of into another. Last little bit of ritual for me that was last weekend. So we're at Sanctuary. We do the thing. We lay out. We have the dinner. I hang out with my auntie. I literally get in a car and we drive right back to Vegas to record our State of the Spring podcast. So me, Kira Buckley, Ilona Pamplona, our human design goddess, Jennifer Bond, our embodiment goddess. And we laugh because we call ourselves the air goddesses because it's like 2 Libras and 2 Geminis. I'm like, we're here to chitty chat and give you the words, tell you all about kind of the things that we saw as themes coming for the season up ahead. We do it every single season. This spring was no different, except that it was full Mercury retrograde, and we could not, for the life of us, get something on the calendar. There was just so much going on with everybody's lives. So we finally got it done, but it happened to be the day after Sanctuary, and so freaking good. Y'all, please, please, please go check out that YouTube video. We did a panel podcast, me, Kira, Ilona, and Jennifer, talking about this fire horsey ass spring. The things that came out of these brilliant women's mouth. I promise you, like, I was there to talk, but most of the time you just see me there taking feverish notes because brilliant. Kira coming in from the TCM lens, the traditional Chinese medicine lens, and talking about our gallbladder and the seasons and the pieces and grief. And we were able to have a depthy conversation about what it looks like to not fall into despair. Ilona set the whole astrological framework for the season, told us the dates to put on our calendar and pay attention to, kind of talked us a little bit through what we can prepare for the stage that is coming this summer with Jupiter moving into Leo. It was delicious. And Jennifer dropped the title phrase of the season of intentional emergence. How can this season you be intentionally emerging? And talked a lot about what that looked like and what it looks like to root into your own rhythm this season and what season you are having up against the season of spring. It is gorgeous. It is juicy. It's 90 minutes, so put it on while you're cooking something. Put it on while you're in traffic. Listen to this podcast. This State of the Spring podcast is, again, probably my favorite podcast that we've done of the State of the Season. I'm feeling like a new bitch, y'all. I guess that's mostly what I came to say. Maybe because it's Friday. Y'all getting extra spicy me. Let me take a breath. I be extra fired up on Fridays. Side note story, because we're here now, apparently I'm telling things. My Friday ritual as a Venus-y girl, because I'm, and for astrological purposes, I'm a Libra sun, but I am also a Libra South Node. I am also a Libra Venus, and I'm a Taurus rising. So it's giving Venus on Venus on Venus on Venus. Venus on Venus. It's a very Venus-y bitch. And Friday is the astrological day of Venus for the week, right? So on Friday was my Venus day, and I would have this Venus day ritual where every single Friday I would get up in the morning, I'd put on my favorite piece of lingerie, and I would just take pictures of myself in my lingerie and then look at these pictures and, receive what it was to be excited about what I looked like in lingerie in these pictures. It was my favorite Venus ritual. And then I would work for the rest of the day in my lingerie, and my clients who knew would be like, because I'm Winnie the Pooh in it. I got like business casual up top and whatever going on the downstairs. And my clients would be like, whatever, they would see me on Fridays. And I'm like, look, if you see me on Friday, you must be special because I only see people I like on Fridays because I only do what I like on Fridays. So it's hilarious that this live is now becoming Friday energy because it's going to be a whole nother level of unhinged. We'll see if I actually make it through my little list of things to talk about. At least on Tuesday, I had like direction because it's Mars Day. On Friday, you may just be getting bubblegums and sunshines and berries. But that is that. That was my weekend. I'm feeling so ready to come into this season, so ready to have a brand new, fresh energy, so excited about like, whoo, let's close the door, let's take the rest of winter with us. And then let's move into spring with a different kind of energy, really rooted in this season. One of the things that came out of all three of those experiences, of every conversation that I had last week, was around rooting. Chaos is gorgeous if you let it. It can be earth shattering if that happens as well. And one of the things that makes chaos in and of itself more complicated is feeling like you're in the chaos rather than you are rooted and chaos is happening around you. That was such a huge theme of everyone's plans. Of the theme of sanctuary was rooted sovereignty, I believe. We were talking about it again on the podcast, and I'm feeling it as we're coming into this season. And as we are navigating kind of into this conversation, yes, Iris, goddess embodiment, as navigating this conversation that we've been having over the last couple of weeks. And if you have not caught my lives before, we've been having this conversation about reorienting how we're thinking about business, really bringing in a good spring energy to how we're going about the bedrock of business. A couple weeks ago, I talked about un-Epsteining our business and like some of the fuck shit that we've been tolerating as business owners, because this is kind of the landscape that we had to grow our businesses in and what we want to do if we want to do things different. We talked a lot last week about the future of business being about doing more good, returning back to the kind of businesses that took excellent care of the community, and they were taken excellent care of because they took excellent care of the community. They didn't just extract, they also generated, but then the community generated for them. Getting back to that relationship and the access to that really being centered in the contribution of your business, the good that your business does, and then building all the good strategy and all of the other pieces around that. I gave you all a little bit of a formula for my kind of contribution centered business. And last week we talked about part one of that formula being the vision of what kind of good you want to do, or really rethinking the good that your business can do. Second part of that conversation is the people. Right? Who do you want to do it for? And who do you want to do it with? That is today's conversation. And then next week, we'll talk a little bit about how you're wired and designed to do it. And then we'll follow it up the week after by talking about your resources and your expertise and how that may sit in how you're better able to contribute and how the community is better able to contribute to you. I like this contribution conversation way more than I like sales and leads. But even me, I'm oriented toward those things because that's what we talk all day long. I'm so excited for us to have more elevated conversation, more activating words to use for these sacred time that we have on earth that we spend working. Like, I want us to have bigger words to expand into who we are and what we do and why we do it than like leads and sales and funnels. Blah, blah, blah. Like, again, there are parts of it that work, but there's like a whole lot of pressure to try to shake off. But today's conversation is about the people. And it's so interesting as I get into this piece of the conversation that I've been around my people all week long. And it has made me even more solidified into this formula about how important it is to think about the people as an ecosystem. Community functions like nature functions. Nature functions in ecosystems. There are macro ecosystems, there are micro ecosystems. But what makes an ecosystem is this reciprocal, symbiotic relationship with which everything in it has a role and everything is contributed to as a part of the whole for fulfilling the role, but that the role is not exhaustive. The role is not has you laid on your back because you did so much of it. The tree is not, exhausting itself to create oxygen. It is just being tree. And there is something about ecosystem when it comes to people that allows people to be people and be where they are. And so what do I mean by that? When you're thinking about creating a contribution centered business, you want to think about your people as an ecosystem because there are many different types of people you want in your business ecosystem. Most people are only focused on clients. And that's why it sucks sometimes. That's why it can feel like I'm just like selling this thing. Like you're so proud of what you do. You care so deeply for how you do it. And then you get ready to share it and it feels like you're, you know, trying to force someone to have something, or it feels sleazy, or it feels salesy. A lot of that time is because the only time you spend growing your network and your ecosystem is that you're only thinking about clients who can buy from you, which puts you in a position to only be able to sell to them. And there's something about that power dynamic that for a lot of us is feeling really gross right now. And one really easy way that you can speak to be in relationship with that power dynamic is to grow other community partners and view them with the same level of importance. Yes, you need the group of humans that you are dedicated to serving with your offer or your service or your offering, but you also need the collaborators. Who are the people whose mission is the same mission as your mission? They care just as much about the community that matters to you as you do. They just do something different for it, right? You are someone who cares deeply about children. There are going to be the folks who care about kids' sports, the folks that care about kids' education, the folks who care about kids' wellness, right? All care about kids, but many different roles to that. Why do you want to be connected with your collaborators? Because your collaborators can open up doors for you. Your collaborators can be like, oh yeah, hey, I got this thing going on. You want to piece up on something? Your collaborators can be like, oh, I wasn't the right person for this job, but you are. Can we make sure that we're in well network? And that also helps to create an ecosystem of opportunities for your business so that you're not the only person who has to be cause and the matter and source of every new opportunity that you create. You have an army, you've got some crew, you've got some people who can support you in opening up a variety of opportunities for everyone. One of the things I have loved so much in how I run my business is that my primary marketing function has been network, word of mouth, and referral, because I've grown naturally around the people who I love. And not everybody gets to say this. And I also sat in this week and how privileged I am to be able to say it. I have had the privilege of being able to grow my business in that way because of who I was able to have access to network to. But I've also had the privilege of being able to work with the people that I like because I build my business as such. I know everybody's like, I want the $200,000 claims. Do you like those people? I like some of them, not all of them. you know? And I think that when you're thinking about your contribution, set your contribution up in a way that it's actually creating it for the people who matter to you. And then figure out how we make that good and lucrative. But that's a story for another day rather than go the other way around. So, two types of people, right? We want to know who you're going to be serving, who can best, utilize your offers and services. You want to know who you can be in collaboration with. You also want to know who are your door openers. Welcome in, Nicona. Good to see you. Who are the people to whom your community is a part of the benefit of what it is that they do? And this typically are organizations, your structural folks. This may be folks in positions inside of companies, or nonprofits, or even political affiliations, to whom your community of people are a part of that, right? We go back to this analogy. If young people are your community of people, you've got the teachers, you've got the sports folks, you've got the wellness folks, but then you've also got the principals, right? Then you've also got the nonprofits, the colleges, right? Then you've also got kind of, these overarching school boards and things of that nature that also have an investment into your people, and they can open massive doors, right? Being in well connection with them, oftentimes they have a desire to support the community, but have much less agility and access than the average business owner has in that process. So being partnered with them helps you to be able to get that phone call that's like, hey, I got this grant for this thing. Can you come do it? Hey, I got this thing opening up the door. I need a subject matter expert. Can you be my subject matter expert? Or can you go to your crew of friends and they are subject matter experts and make an opportunity happen, right? In and of itself, taking this approach and really looking at business from this lens allows us to naturally connect with who we connect with, naturally be growing genuine relationships, and then having a strategic lens on how best we can support one another in our natural walk toward contribution, right? It keeps us from being in this buy, sell, exchange only, transactional feeling relating dynamic. And it also really does let, from a more energetic perspective, it lets source, God, universe, however you want to call the energy that created you and created all the awesome things around you, work through you with more frequency, because you never know why you ran into this person, and because you don't just look at them like a client and go, well, I can't sell them anything, so why should I build a relationship with them? You build that relationship, and then down the road they may be able to open up a path that makes you 5 times what you would have made from them in a client relationship. It also lets you be more natural, lets you do the human thing of humaning with one another and not treating each other like a commodity, like we are there to buy and sell one another, right? I heard somebody say, oh, you don't want to use people, you want to utilize them. And I'm like, even that has a flavor. Whew, even that has a flavor. Even that has a flavor. I don't know what the better word for that is, but when I'm in community, I want to be resourced and I want to be a resource. I don't know if I want to be used. I don't even, I don't, I mean, depending on what we're doing, the right conversation, I don't know if I want to be utilized. Ah. And I think a lot of us, I hope I'm saying the thing that a lot of us are feeling and are just like needing to think through how we want to say it. And I think it's important that we say it. Like, we don't like this. Just because we don't know what we want instead doesn't mean we can't say it. This feels like a like a Let me get in the chat. Keshe says, I will take a few 5K a month clients than one 6-figure client that I don't like. I'm just gonna sip on it. I have like 4 emotional support beverages today. What to say? I've had so many clients that pay the bills and drive me crazy. Oh, I have worked with so many people who've been like, this 300,000 wasn't worth it. And I'm like, yeah. It is a privilege. It is. But if you have that privilege to be able to dictate who you spend time with, that's real wealth. And it is easier to figure out how to create something profitable for a community that you would love to serve, that are your lifeblood, that feel like they give you back breath just being in their presence. It's a lot easier to figure out how to make money than it is to figure out how to make this thing that very easily has money but is taking your life source out of you. Just and people don't talk enough about it. Their first thing is to say is pick the highest ticket client. And I just want folks to consider that. And I'm not saying all experience about it, because I have people who have paid me incredibly well and have been wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. But if I'm honest, most of them have not. Most of them have not. And I try to get off of the Hollywood and the ugh of it all, but when you desire so deeply to be in those circles, there's a sacrifice that you make, and usually it's in how you treat people. But I'm gonna be with that. Cache also said, my whole life is relationships and I need a higher ROI. Now, in that case, right? The exact opposite of that conversation, how do we better resource our community with the ability to be able to contribute to us? How do we help the people who we contribute to deeply better contribute to us? And how do we arm and resource ourselves of folks who can, who have capacity, who have acumen, who have skill set, who have resources, who have doors to open? That's the thing too. I have been in situations before. I've been like, I gave it all and nobody gave shit to me back. And then I got to go back and I look and I go, did I give it all to somebody who has a history of giving it back? Eek. I know I didn't personally. In my good recovering people pleasing self, I gave a lot to people, expected nothing in return, gave a lot to the people who had no receipts of ever giving to anyone, including themselves, and then was upset that they didn't become a different person to be able to give it to me. And there's nothing wrong with having all kinds of people in your ecosystem, but it really, really matters that you Allow the truth to inform how much intimacy you trust them with. I was talking earlier this year on live about making my little community map on my. I'm pointing to it because it's on my wall over here, of where I, have people's name on post-its and actively move them around the map in a conversation around how much intimacy I allow them to steward and how much intimacy I want to steward of them. Some people are great people but are not great stewards of closeness. Some people, for a variety of reasons, and to be honest, if we get real about it, yeah, it ain't nobody's fault. You know what the fuck it's like to live in this world? Most of us don't come out unscathed. I'm not surprised that people aren't resourced with the ability to be good to one another. Surviving for most people is, half the battle. So I get it. And if you know that somebody in your sphere is wonderful and that you want to spend time with personally or professionally, but you watch that the way that they interact with other people is something that does not feel like it would be a very good steward of you being very close to them, keep them on the side until they can prove to you that that's something that makes sense. And I don't even like the word prove. God, I need bigger language, friends. Somebody give me something in the comments that is better words than these things, especially like prove. I'm not, I need you to prove anything to me, but I do need to see. I need to see that this intimate safety that I only give to a couple of people will be safe in your hands. And the amount of times that I've been burned by not paying attention to that, now we getting black. I want you to show and prove. Cache said, show me improvement, show improvement. I need to know that you're going to be a good steward of me. Like Lettucey said, tell me, can you handle me? Can you handle me? I need to know. And I need to relate to myself as something that's precious to handle. 222 Pacific, as I say it out loud. For a lot of us, that's the conversation. You tolerate all kind of fuck shit because you don't even believe that you're worth handling with care. That was me for a cool minute. I could speak for myself. Right? That I could speak for myself. Didn't even occur to me to think about like, oh, I should see if they are good stewards of me. Why would I need to be something to steward? If that's your conversation, can we put it in the equinox? Can we leave that in winter? Can you start getting curious about what it would look like in spring? To start holding yourself with a different level of worth and believing yourself to be a good thing worthy of trust, intimacy, and great, excellent stewardship. All relationships should steward you well. I also don't believe in that fucking it's just business shit. You don't get to treat me badly because we're at work. Don't get me wrong, you shouldn't business with everybody, but you don't get away with treating me badly because it's just business. That shows me you're not a good steward of my intimacy. Because and again, you got to know what you bring to the table. I know if you sit at my table, everybody finna eat. Because no shade, I have it like that. And not in a way of, being arrogant either. Because I give a shit. And I lay my head to the pillow every night doing what I can to be good to people. And I go out of my way to orient my life in that direction. And people are excellent to me because of it. Some people, not all people, but people are excellent to me because of it. So I know if you sit at my table, you're going to eat. I'm going to feed you personally. Not to mention the ancestors, the guides, whatever channels through me being a straw. For you, you're going to eat if you sit at my table. Be clear. Are people good stewards of tables? It may not have nothing to do with you. They just may not be good stewards. And they may not be good stewards at this time, right? It could be a capacity conversation, but it matters, particularly in this season that we are discerning of where we put our energy, where we put our time, and who we invest in. And this people conversation for a lot of us get weary in our contribution because we've been burned by the people. But a lot of us could use resources ourselves and how to make sure to enroll our communities and how to care for ourselves, and also choose communities that have histories of care and good stewardship. They're out there, but we over here spending time with the ones who not. Hello? Let's see what the... Look, Cache said I need to stop that shit. Facts on facts. And Cassie, I said I'm preaching. Look, maybe this is giving Good Friday energy. I'm glad. And I think if I think about our formula of vision, people, design, and resources being the access to a contribution centered business that you actually fuck with and that actually does what you want to do in community, the people part is probably the place where I'm the most excited. Because I also know, like I know, in the next couple of years, because of what's happening in our world, the way we're being turned toward each other, and we're figuring it out, and it's messy, and it's but the warriorness of us having had to need each other and be interdependent in a way that we have not been in, a lot of us, in our lifetimes. I'm 38. This is a level of interdependence that I've never had in my lifetime. I didn't need in the same way that I know we're going to be needing it in the next couple of years as the world does what the world is going to do. This is a good time for us to get to reimagine our peopling and to grow our network. I will say this, the last thing that I will say before I wrap down on events and things. Every entrepreneur that I know that loves their business and is making enough money to take care of themselves with excess has an excellent network. Every person that I know that does not have an excellent network has a financial problem in their business. And when I say excellent, the only thing that makes it excellent is that they open up opportunities for you to do the things that you want to do. I know people who have a network of people they don't really like that much, but they open up lots of opportunities and vice versa. But when I say excellence, when it comes to a business network, their number one job is that the people who you are around open up doors and opportunities for you to do the things that you would want to do. Oh, welcome in, Denise. Good to see you. Every entrepreneur and business owner that I know that is having financial issues of some sort, I can almost always root it to either we're spending too much time in the wrong networks or we're not networked enough in the areas that matter to the opportunities that you're trying to create for yourself. Interrogate this spring. Let this gorgeous fire energy come in and alchemize what you got going on. Let people burn by the wayside who shouldn't be here. Get excited and let people spark who should be here. Take all of this good energy of everything that we talked about today and run through the friend group like diarrhea. Leave the people who need to be left, amplify the people who need to be there, spend more time with people who feel more like life, spend less time with people who don't. Spend more time with people who feel generative. Spend less time with people who spend reductive so that you can be on purpose. And you can have some help. If you're always the helper, be with what is between you and the interdependence required for help. We talked a lot about that on the huddle. Talked a lot about that on the huddle. Talked a little bit about it also in the spring podcast, the spring Ocean Body Learning State of the Spring podcast. So view that if you need a little support in that area. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk and my very chaotic Friday. Let me tell you what is cracking for the weekend. If you are local in Las Vegas, I actually am going with my mama tomorrow to the Women's Film Festival that is going to be over in UNLV. So I'll be at the Women's Film Festival. It's happening today. It's been happening since Thursday. It may be happening until Sunday, but I think until Saturday for sure. I will be there. If you want to come see me and my mama, you are welcome to do that. Let me see. Oh, let me not break the Riverside. Did I break it? No, we're still going. Okay. Thank you. YouTube, you still rocking with me? All right. Instagram, I see you still rocking with me. Let me get into this calendar and let you all know which business cousin office hours are cracking for the next week. So as I'm speaking right now, Michelle is on her PR office hours. So if you got questions around how do I get on TV, how do I leverage a PR strategy, what could a media kit do for me, come and see Michelle once a month. She's got her office hours right now today from 2 to 3:30 p.m. on March 20th, this good equinox day. I may hop on her office hour after this. Micah has got their co-working, last co-working of the season. This week for Micah from 10 to 12 on Monday, March the 23rd. Jennifer's got her 1 hour come home to your body reset at 1 p.m. on March the 23rd. We love this Jennifer come home to your body reset. We love this session. It's a quick embodiment. It feels good every week. I always tell people if they had a choice and they can only go to one office hour go to Jennifer's office hour every week. Come home to your body. It is the number one decision maker that you have. So come and see Jennifer from 1 to 2 every single Monday. Monday, March 23rd is no different. And then March 24th, we've got Cassandra's first office hours. I think we moved it. Okay. So it is her Applied Systems Studio with Quinovate and Cassandra Quinn. It is from 8 to 9:30 a.m. PST. Cassandra has just joined our office hours as support for large organizations and teams. She is also the truth when it comes to reimagining the orientation of how you're going about systems. She is my sister in reimagining languaging in a world that makes us feel more equitable as a part of that. Cachet, you and Cassandra, absolutely. I've been trying to connect you all. I think that there's some good synergy there. But see, y'all see what happens in business cousins? We be doing the thing. We be cousining up because we're in community. Okay? So come and see Cassandra from 8 to 9:30 a.m. If you're looking for any types of tightening on your general operations, Cassandra's office hours are going to be kind of cool because she's going to teach for a little bit in the beginning, a topic that a lot of us need to tighten up in our operations. And then you can ask any type of questions that you want for the last hour. So she's in for 90 minutes, which we love. We love, we love. Ooh, okay. Fantastic. Okay. Looks like Cachet is doing the same. So let me keep going before I lose it. So that's Tuesday, March the 24th. And then nope, that's not happening. That's Friday. Okay, great. Okay, great. So, all right. So then next on Wednesday, March the 25th, Micah's got their co-working from 10 to 12. Paya's got her weekly ops Q&A from 1 to 2. Paya is also there with you all every single week on Wednesdays from 1 to 2. Ask Paya all of the questions around you and your solopreneur business. Okay, Emily, good to see you. Ask Paya about how to redo your email. Ask Paya, what do I give the VA? Ask Paya, I'm doing too much. I'm exhausted and I'm overwhelmed, Dr. Zoe. Paya is a great resource for you. I don't want to be doing this. I've hired help. What should they be doing? Come ask questions. Come ask those questions of Paya from 1 to 2 p.m. PST every Wednesday. And this is on March 25th. March 25th from 3 to 4 p.m. PST, Jacent has her financial office hour. Now, Jacent just went on over to the Goldman Sachs. So you could just come on back and ask Jacent how that was, or you can maybe ask Jacent some questions about your monies. Hi, Robin. Good to see you. Ask Jacent your questions about your money. She is our financial specialist in community. We love Jacent. She does the Lord's work of making sure that we are actually able to have a great relationship with our finances. She really comes to it from a heart space, and she's got some fantastic YouTube resources if you want to go and find those. Jacent Wamala on YouTube. But come and be with her in office hours from 3 to 4 PST on March the 25th on Wednesday. On Thursday, March the 26th, we've got Nicole doing her marketing office hours. So if you've got a movement, Robin, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at these people who, when we were in our little session, we were talking about what is the message of your movement? How do you get it out there in the world? And we're thinking about, does it need to be on social? How do you change your SEO to make it happen? What does your website need to have it look there? What kind of campaigns could you be running to get it more out, to get more people? Nicole is our person from that. So visit Nicole Aquila from 9 to 10 a.m. PST on March the 24th. That is Thursday. And then, y'all, I'm going to be in South Carolina on Thursday. So I will be gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Women Publishing Summit in Columbia, South Carolina. I think that's right. I'm always mixing up my South and my North. So if you are in the Southeast or you are in Columbia, South Carolina, come on by and say hello to me. Or if you are somebody who is thinking about a book, has a book in you, is interested in how you can better leverage the book, the Women in Publishing Summit is a fantastic place for you to do that. We are going to be in person and hanging out and knocking that out there. So that is this week's worth of lives. I probably won't be able to go live again next Friday on the 27th. And so I think what I will do, Instagram, YouTube folks, I may make a short for you, but Instagram, I'm going to pop it here. I'm going to make another little video telling you all about next week's office hours since I won't be there. But I will be back live on April the 3rd. We are doing our lives now at noon on Fridays. We made a decision, people. This is where we're landing. We're an hour and 49 minutes late today because I mixed up the things. But noon is where we're landing. We are landing there. That is what we're knocking out. So Thank you so much for joining today. Thanks for coming on live, YouTube, Instagram fam. Fridays at noon is our new spot. So that's noon PST, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard for the Eastern Standard folks. I'm hoping I catch y'all on the way home from work or something. But that is going to be the new time that we are rocking with, is Friday at noon. I was going back and forth, but that is where we are. Like I said, please listen to that State of the Spring podcast with me, Kira, Ilona, and Jennifer. Those ladies came and spoke some real truth that will support you and hopefully what you do to root yourself this gorgeous equinox day. Happy spring, good people. Happy Aries season coming in hot in the next couple weeks. I will see you back here again on April 3rd. Thanks for being with me. Take excellent, excellent care of yourself. We'll be back on April 3rd to talk about how you're wired and designed to be doing your good. Thank you, Alvin. Thank you, and thanks for joining. Love y'all big. Have a good rest of the day. All right. Ended it there. YouTubes. Thanks again for being with us. Make sure you love yourself today. You're part of the people that we want you to be loving on. Don't just love on everybody else. Make sure you're loving on you, particularly as we open the door for this new spring. Check out that State of the Spring podcast. Whenever you find this, I hope it's 7 years from now. It's gonna be good. It was 2026, girl. It's gonna be good. All right, friends. Have a good Friday.